Full shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can put all that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I mean, I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah, it's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yes, peeps, back in the damn building. As always, guys, make sure you're smashing that like, sharing, and subscribing to the damn channel. So, today, what we're here for, we're looking at left back options for Liverpool. So, obviously, I know there's been a lot of talk, and again, at the time of this video, I don't know, will Liverpool potentially have signed a left back? Maybe they're already in talks with a left back. We'll get into that in a second, but yeah, there's so many left backs out there, and you know, it's a weird one. You know, I spoke about this in like my Trent, replacement. In terms of the type of player that you might want to, take a look at, the type of player that you might potentially want, to sign and stuff like that. And it all depends. Again, I say this in every video. I say this on every stream and stuff like that. I don't know what Arne Slot wants to do. Like, I don't know, because I ain't never seen what it looks like with Arne Slot and signing this type of guy and that type of guy. Obviously, we have the point of reference of Feyenoord, but this ain't Feyenoord at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's a bigger club, in terms of, Liverpool and what they're trying to challenge for and the things that they're trying to do and the expectations and all these various different kind of things. So, yeah, man, it's a tricky one, trying to find left backs. Well, that's a lie, actually. I felt like I found more left backs than I did right backs who I felt were quite adequate enough that I would, myself personally, I would be happy with signing. But again, you guys, the viewers, you guys let me know. Let me know what you guys would like to see. Let me know what type of left back you think we should be looking at. Should we get two? Should we just get the one? Should we let Robertson and, and TSIMIKAS go? I don't know. I really, really don't know, man. But as I said before, with Robertson and, with TSIMIKAS kind of, people are not really happy with Robertson. No, that's a lie. I wouldn't say necessarily not happy. It just seems like he's on the decline now, kind of thing. He's not the Robertson that we obviously once knew, which is, of course, totally understandable, right? He's been a big servant of the football club, been fantastic, for the majority of the years, that he's been here at the football club. But maybe it is time. Maybe it is that kind of time where we start looking, at a new left back to take us into this kind of new age, of Liverpool. And in regards to like TSIMIKAS, again, it's like, he's a rotation kind of piece, so do you just look at that and think, yeah, you know what, if we can get some good money for someone like TSIMIKAS who might want to go out somewhere else and play football, you know what I mean, play a bit more consistently, he's, I'm sure he's the captain of his national team. I'm not 100%, but I feel like he is. But I could be wrong, in that regards. But even still, he might want to go out there. He's reaching the kind of latter parts of his kind of own career. So, it's all about what he wants to do and how he kind of sees things and, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously, without further ado, I've got a few options. I've got a few good options here. Obviously, I'm not going to go through like 100 left backs in the world. This is only just like a few. If you guys know of any more in the comment section, of course, let me know. So we're going to start off in the Premier League options, and then of course we'll move on to the rest of the world, as they like to say. Obviously, first one up is of course 𝐒𝐃. I think this one's an obvious one. This is the one that Liverpool have been linked with quite a lot, over the last few months, probably really for like the last year, to be honest with you. Obviously playing for Bournemouth doing really well this season. He's been a main component of that. Yeah, he's been putting in some good performances. I think he'd be a calm left back for Liverpool to, be able to get in. Obviously here with Szoboszlai, these two really good friends, in the national setup. So it seems like something that might potentially just be, a foregone conclusion, potentially. Again, we don't really know. This was in March that Fabrizio obviously posted this out, saying, Liverpool are monitoring 𝐒𝐃. Listen, Liverpool like monitor FC, man. We monitor so many players anyway, but we never really pull the trigger when it does come to these players. So should we get him in? Should we not get him in? Again, I'm not that fast. I think he's been good for Bournemouth this season. And I like the fact that some of these players have had like a good couple of years in the Premier League as well. I think forget the fact that it's the Premier League. It's more obviously because this is our league. It's just more about, are you accustomed to this league? Do you know what I mean? Can you, can you kick it in this league really and truly? Because we've seen players come here and, they've not really done too well and they can't really stand, being in this kind of league and being at certain types of teams, but they'll go somewhere else and have an absolutely amazing career. So, yeah, in the last 2 seasons, I feel like he has developed. This season, more so, especially, Iraola, the way that he's got Bournemouth playing this season, the positions that we kind of see with 𝐒𝐃, the positions that he takes up, the energy that he's got down that left-hand side as well. I think it could be good for Liverpool. I really do, man. I think he'd be a very calm signing for Liverpool to make. Next up, obviously, we've got 𝐒 He's one. It's funny. Things always go in like these cycles, right? 1 minute it's we got like 𝐒 was a player that everybody wanted, Liverpool fans anyway were like, we got to get an 𝐒. He's a dope left back. Now people don't even talk about him. Now 𝐒𝐃 is the guy, and that's just how it is, when it does come to, football and stuff like that. You're here today, gone tomorrow. If you ain't, pulling up trees on a consistent enough basis, people will forget about you, especially if you're not putting in 10 out of 10, performances and things like that. But, it is just one of those kind of things. But obviously for Wolves haven't been too good this season. Like, as a team, performance-wise, they've been pretty decent from what I've seen, but just haven't been able to, pick up the necessary wins that would have had them higher up in the table. Obviously had a crazy start of the season. Gary O'Neill then getting sacked, bringing in a new manager. He's got them kind of ticking and playing. 𝐒, someone who down that left-hand side, we've seen him lock up Mo Salah, a couple of times, in the past as well. He's also someone that under Gary O'Neill, we saw him picking up like crazy positions, attacking midfield, central midfield, inverting really, really well. Now, if that's something that Arne Slot feels that he wants from his fullbacks, we saw it. I did a video, talking about the kind of positions that, he wants his he had his fullbacks playing when he was at Feyenoord. Excuse me. So, is that something that he might try and, do now? Now he's got the opportunity, potentially if a Trent goes, if a Robertson's not a starter, he can kind of rebrand it now a little bit. And he does like his fullbacks to come inside as well. I feel like 𝐒 can do that job really, really well. He seems like he is very comfortable, in possession, very, very technical individual. I actually think he suits more of like a midfielder than he does a left back kind of thing. Like he's got decent stats when it does come to being a defender and stuff. But I feel like, I don't know, if he was at a different team, I feel like he'd be playing a different position, which is weird. But listen, man, it is what it is. Right now, he is a current left back for Wolves. Is that someone you think we should sign? I wouldn't mind him again as well. It's more, I'm more just trying to see what does Arne Slot want from his fullbacks. And that's why with 𝐒𝐃, if you want someone really, really good on the outside, someone who can get up and down the pitch, energy and stuff like that, you get that type of fullback. If you want someone who is really, really good going forward, pretty decent, coming back the other way, can come infield, and play infield as well, comfortable in possession, etc., then yeah, you get like an 𝐒 type of individual. But again, let's wait and we shall see. Anthony Robertson, he's another one, another Premier League left back who's doing really, really well this season for Fulham. Currently, at the time of this video, he's got the most. I mean, to be honest, Trent's injured, and I don't think the rest are going to catch up. But yeah, listen, look, 10 assists this season for Fulham. He's got no goals, but he's got 10 assists this season, which is really like I would say like a standout season for him. I don't think he's ever gotten this much. I'd have to double check. But yeah, in the last couple of years, man, again, he's another one like 𝐒𝐃. I feel like in the last couple of years, they've really developed into this kind of, really, they've achieved a high consistency. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't call them top class or anything like that. I don't think really they're that kind of fullbacks, but I feel like they're just achieving this like level of consistency where it's like, you know what, at this level, if you maintain this is a really, really good level. This might work, for Liverpool Football Club. So he's another one I think is on the list. I think he's one that fans wouldn't mind if we got him in. Would I mind? Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. People talk about his age, and I get it. I fully get it. Because you're always trying to think about the future with signings and stuff like that, depending on where you're at. If he was like a missing piece, then yeah, you don't mind getting someone of his kind of age. But if you're trying to look at now and later, then you might pass, potentially on an Anthony Robertson. Next up, we've got Tyreek Mitchell. This isn't a name that gets thrown around too much, but I like him. I like him. I like him for Crystal Palace. Obviously I know it's Crystal Palace, but you know he's really really good, man. I feel like he's like, in my opinion, more in the mold of a 𝐒𝐃𝐃. I just don't think he has the quality on the ball as a 𝐒𝐶𝐃. 𝐒𝐶𝐃 is really good at crossing the ball into the box, understanding when he needs to, you know, make that pass kind of thing, and he's got the quality on the ball. As I said, would I say Tyreek Mitchell's that comfortable in possession? Yeah, I feel like he's all right. He's like he's you know, back in the day, it sound like an old man, but back in the day, he'd be such a calm left back, like a good left back, to be honest with you. And I still think he's good. But obviously, in this day and age, everyone wants their left back to be Ronaldinho, you know, back there. So, you know, he doesn't fit that kind of mold. But if you're looking for a defender, like a real defender, I feel like Tyreek Mitchell is definitely an option, you know, for you. Again, I wouldn't say he's comfortable coming on the inside. If I'm being totally honest with you, he's obviously left footers, and I am one. We're very one-footed. So when you ask us to come in field, it does get a little bit techie for us. And I feel like with him, it's a little bit like that. I've seen him lose possession sometimes when he does come in field and stuff like that. But if you're looking at, again, like I said, in that 𝐒𝐾𝐃 mold, someone to, you know, come in off that, you know, so not come in, sorry, go on the outside. I feel like he can do that. He can do that. And he's good defensively, man. He is really, really good defensively. Estupinan is another one, not one that many people have been speaking about recently. Obviously playing at Brighton, but he's definitely comfortable coming in field. He's got a shot on him, you know what I mean? Quality on the ball, can get up and down the pitch. Yeah, I think he's a solid. If this was last season, I would say he'd be my number one pick. He would be. I feel like this season, I haven't seen too many. Like I don't want to say regressed. I don't know if regress probably takes about a couple of years really to kind of see. But I do think he just hasn't put up the performances, is what I will say, in my personal opinion, you know, in this season anyway. So that's where I would be looking at someone like Estupinan and thinking, when you've got the options of like a 𝐒𝐾𝐃 and, you know, Aït-Nouri and stuff like Anthony Robinson, who are more on the upward trajectory, when you've got someone who you don't know, and again, I don't know, you know, it could just be one of them kind of seasons which happens in football. But this is not the right time, you know, not when Liverpool potentially looking for a left back. You want to be performing at your highest level kind of thing. That's where I look at 𝐒𝐾𝐃 and I think, I don't know. 𝐒𝐾𝐃. I look at Estupinan, sorry, and say, I don't really know. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to see on that one. But if you're looking at someone who is quality on the ball, yeah, Estupinan, you know, really, really is that guy. And there's other ones, you know, like Udogie, Lewis Hall, and stuff like that. Yeah, they're like other choices that you could potentially go with. I don't really feel like they'd be attainable. Lewis Hall especially, but Udogie, yeah, obviously after his injury and stuff like that, I'm a little bit like, yeah, I don't really know. Do you know what I mean? I'd probably just wait on that. And I don't think that Tottenham are going to be, unless it's a really good offer, I don't really feel like Tottenham are going to be ready to sell just like that. But listen, you never really know with these kind of things. But listen, if there's any other Premier League options that you guys think, I think I had Nico Williams in my head as well, because he's been playing left back, right back, or whatever. Ola Aina can play on the left-hand side as well if you needed him to. So he could be that utility type of player that, you know, Liverpool signed. Nico Williams, obviously, in that kind of same mold. But yeah, if there's any more, let me know, man. Let me know in the comment section. Now we go on to the rest of the world. The rest of the world. Obviously, Jarell Hato. This is another one that a lot of people are very, very interested in. Top player. Or top young player, should I say? Sorry. I think he is the fastest ever to reach 100 games for Ajax. From what I'm sure I read that. Quickest player anyway to reach 100 games for Ajax. So of course there's something, you know, within that. Plays on obviously on that left hand side. Again, very Ajax way of football. He's so comfortable on the ball. I can see that from a mile off. Can come in field. I know he can play in other positions as we can play at centre back if we needed him to do so. Is that something that potentially Arne Slot is looking for? Can you play double positions? If not, then I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like that could just be, you know, something that he might potentially want to do. But yeah, Jarell Hato, again, he's someone on the way up, man. He's on the way up. I do have I wouldn't say concerns, but when it comes to like Dutch players, I don't know, man. Even with Gravenberch and what's his name, Gakpo, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? Virgil was here for a few years at Southampton, or at least for a couple of years before he made that move. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't feel like the ratio is that good. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know who else came from the Robbie van Persie, Suarez. Obviously, come from Dutch football, but we're talking about like the elite players. If we're just talking about like players underneath that, I don't know. There's something about Dutch players that I'm not so convinced about. I don't know what it is though. I really don't know. But Jurahato's good. He's good though. He's good. He's a good. He's a good, neat and tidy individual. Can defend really well as well. I feel like if you get him in, if you got in a Jurahato, I would still want to sign another left back. I'd still want to sign one. I'd feel like you could get Jurahato in, but would he? Would I really want to see him start? Like, oh man, I'm not really that convinced that I'd want him to start. Listen, if he came in and he did bits, then great. But yeah, maybe not right now. I feel like 𝐒𝐃 is of a higher level. Anthony Robertson is just of that higher level. Again, it's just age. Do you know what I mean? It's literally just age and experience, in the game. So yeah, I would pick those guys ahead of him, but I mean, I'd still pick, I wouldn't mind someone like a Jurahato, But again, let me know what you guys think. And another name I had here was Andrea Cambiasso. Now, Cambiasso, I think, is, and I watched quite a bit of Juventus just because of my Euro club fourfold. He is an interesting one. I think Manchester City were in for him in the January transfer window. I can see why. Technically, very good. He is technically very, very good. On the ball, comfortable in possession, can come infield, can play left back, right back. You guys can see it, left back, right mid, left mid, all of that kind of good stuff. So versatility might be an important factor. Whether Juve would let him go is really the question. Juve, obviously, they sacked Thiago or resigned. I don't really know. I don't really care. But he's gone. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I look at that and I'm like, yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting with that one. When it comes to Cambiasso, but I do feel like there's a player in there. He'd be like one of those ones where you're like, but I almost feel like if he went to a Manchester City, I feel like maybe it's just because of the way that they are and the way that like we have I don't want to use this word, but it's like a rigid back four, like everyone, like most of the Premier League, bar Arsenal, Man City, maybe Brighton, right? In fact, no, it really is just Arsenal, Manchester City, where that's a lie. Sorry. I would actually just say it's more Manchester City, where their defense is just everywhere. Like left backs are playing centre back. Sometimes they push out to the right. Akanji might move into midfield. All of this kind of stuff. There's so much movement with the players that it's not really tied down to like one position. That's why I feel like he would have fitted, into that kind of team, right? Because of the way that they play, and they needed a left back really and truly, with Ake always being injured and potentially pushing Vardio, into that centre back kind of role, and maybe him pushing into midfield. I don't know, but yeah, I can see why they were looking at him. I like him. I don't think Juventus, they've been shit in my opinion this season, but he's been pretty decent. And again, that versatility, being able to play in a couple of positions, for me, yeah, it's something. It's definitely something to look at. And there's other ones. I can't remember the Benfica left back. I think he used to play for Manchester United, if I'm not mistaken. He's obviously one. Lukeba was another one that I looked at as well. So yeah, man, there's options in there. There's options in there when it does come to the left back slot. But which kind of what kind of left back do you think Liverpool are kind of looking at? You know what I mean? Let me know in the comment section. Like, what do you kind of think? Where are we trying to head with this left back? Obviously, as I said, 𝐒𝐃 is the one that everyone keeps talking about. But is he really the best option for Liverpool? That's what I want to know from you guys. Do you think that's the best way, to go about this whole left back situation? Do you think we should get two left backs? Are we letting go of both Andrew Robertson, and TSIMIKAS? I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and I feel like they will be answered, come the end of the season, man. But guys, let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comment section. People, what do you think? Who should be our left back next season? And I'll catch you guys in a bit.